under 19 team. My name is Oluwaseun. I have here with me the captain of the Ghanaian team, Jacqueline Kokam, the captain of the Zimbabwean under 19 cricket team, Bulembentosi Mapusa, and of course the third umpire, the fourth umpire is here, Temitopo Niko Ijaba, and Mr. Consistency is here, the tournament referee, Toye Timinade. The call is that of Kokam Jacqueline, and of course, let the toss begin.
Tail is the call. Tail of it.
The toss done and dusted. The captain of Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team, Bulembentosi Mapusa, wins the toss. What do you want to do?
We'll bat first.
Why do you want to bat first?
I think it's a betting track. I always say that. So I think we'll go for the bet.
Have you been disappointed that 3 matches counting Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team yet to get a victory?
Yeah, sure. But I think today we have a good comeback. So, yeah.
What is the score that you intend to achieve?
I think if we get to 130 plus or 150, that will be the good score.
Finally, do you have any new changes to your side from the game against your last opponent, which was South Africa?
No.
So the score remains the same?
Yes.
I wish you all the best. That was Bulembentosi Mapusa, the captain of the Zimbabwean under 19 cricket team. She won the toss and she elected to bat. Let me now talk to the captain of the Ghanaian cricket national team, Kokam Jacqueline. Jacqueline, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
If you had won the toss, what would you have done?
We have chosen to bat first to set a target rather than to chase, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. But we are okay, we are good to go.
What is the total that you want to reduce your opponent to so that you can?
And it is the first bowler of the inning, the bowler being Kate Awuah, one of Ghana's best performing players in this matchup. Zimbabwe, like you heard, winning the toss and electing to bat first and sending in Nicolette and Kea and Beloved Biza to start off their batting inning. I'm also here in the comms box with my colleague Seun Ajidagba.
Thank you very much, Peter. There is everything to play for in this game. It's a battle of two teams that are yet to taste victory at this tournament, and whoever wins will be slugging it out on Friday morning with Team Rwanda, and the other blockbuster fixture will see second and third, which is already sorted, Nigeria versus South Africa under 19 cricket team. Another battle.
Regardless of today's result from the first match between Nigeria and South Africa under 19, it was confirmed that both sides will be facing themselves in the playoff rounds, given the fact that they both were on 2 wins prior to today's encounter. But this side, it is far from decided. The winner will go on to join the top 3 in the last 4 playoff round. Zimbabwe looking for first as well as Ghana. It's going to be a matter of time. Boundary, late edge of the back of the bar and goes beyond the reach of the wicket keeper, and Zimbabwe adding 4 runs to the already 2 they have on the board. That is 6 runs of the last 4 balls. 2 more overs to end the first over of Kate Awuah.
Nicolette, the striker, got off the mark, facing 3 balls and scoring, facing 4 and scoring 6 runs. Oh my word, this will race for 4. What a great stop there. Apologies to the fielder. You deserve to get a standing ovation. I was too quick. But then she told me she had other ideas.
Kirawa has had to come up and be the team's opening bowler. She picks up 1 wicket against Nigeria. She's the leading wicket taker with 3 in 3 innings bowled. Now we'll be looking for a 4th wicket and a much needed victory for the Ghanaian women. 1 run off that last ball. It is 10 for no wickets lost at the end of the first over.
This is almost looking like a different opening bowling spell from what we are used to, where Rashida Tusalia starts, but then wicketkeeper and captain Jacqueline Kokam has entrusted the ball with Kate Awua, and after the first over, 10 runs already on board. And what the projected score is talking about is 200. And 200 looks like a daunting task any day, anytime. Nicolette, 9 runs from 5 balls. Starting out with a wide. Ernestina from the Court of Appeal end.
Ernestina hasn't really been picking up wicket, but has had a very good bowling inning. Let go to the leg side. Team Zimbabwe was 0 for 1 below Biza. The batter on strike, 2 runs off that current ball. This is a very important tie for both teams on red. Ghana yet to win a single toss in this tournament, have been sent in to field first for the 4th time in a row, and that is a much beautiful boundary from beloved Biza. Pulls it to the deep mid-wicket region. From that short ball, waited for that late bounce, saw the height, and sent it flying. 4 more runs for Zimbabwe under 19 beloved Biza, looking to continue from yesterday, batting 31 against South Africa under 19. This time around, she pulls it higher above the infielder. 1 bounce, 2 all the way to the boundary. Back-to-back boundaries for beloved Biza and the Zimbabwe under 19. The runs currently at 21, 11 runs already in his over compared to the first over when it was 10 after 6 balls.
Certainly an expensive over. But Team Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team wouldn't mind. Played it into space. They want to do 2. 2 is the call. And yes, they get 2 runs.
Ghana haven't really been good at chasing. And going into this game now with the goal, I like to believe that they are used to a lovely play off the front foot. Cover drive by beloved Biza. Sends that ball to the boundary between the gaps, as there was no fielder in that deep on-field region, and another boundary for beloved Biza. 4 runs is the signal by the umpire, and 4 runs the result. Look at that replay outside of, beautifully driven, and the fielder could only chase in futility. Last ball of the over, 17 already, or 5 balls. A flick to the leg side, and they will take 1 run. Below Biza goes up strike as the second over comes to an end. It is 28 for no wickets lost.
And what this means is that they are going at 14 runs per over, which is a bit expensive. I recall talking to Captain Bulembentosi Mapusa saying our target is to score 130 and we will be fine. But the captain of Team Ghana, Kokam Jacqueline, was talking about reducing their opponents to 90. But with what we are seeing, it doesn't suggest that this team understands the brief of what is expected of them.
Kirawa back for a second bowling over. On the cover, big chase does it. This time the fielder couldn't get to the rope before the ball. And it's another boundary. This time it comes off Nicolete's bat. Kitawa, the latest victim of the free-flowing ball, outside off and beautifully driven into the gap. A problem that Ghana has they've not really dealt with. And it is those gaps in between their field that the batters are easily nicking and finding. Redirected to the leg region as the fielding side give a chase. Good stop at the ropes to the feet. Good running in between the wicket for Zimbabwe. Lovely play. Found the open side, the open space, and played to it. Nicolete sending beloved Biza to strike.
Peter, in all of this, what I see looks more like a batting practice for Team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team. That's what I see, more like a batting practice.
Ghana haven't really been doing too well in terms of keeping the runs on a low. They've not really coupled down on runs and had to chase significantly high figures every time they've come on to play. Beautifully played and beautifully stopped. But that seemed to be destined for the boundary. Was stopped by the fielder at mid-off. Didn't prevent a single, but certainly they present a boundary. 2 runs off that ball. Nicolete is still on strike for the last ball of the third over. 39 already, 1 more ball. Looks like a fielding error. Couldn't pick the ball in one clean pick. And the figure is rounded up. 40 on the board, no wickets lost. And it's 3 overs completed.
This definitely is not what we envisaged. We knew that the Zimbabwean under-19 team had not won any game, same as their opponent Ghana. But we felt it was a battle of 2 teams that were desperate in search of a victory that would take them to the semi-final of this year's competition. But we didn't feel that after 3 overs, 40 runs will be on board for Team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team. They are going all guns blazing, and their current run rate is at 13.33. And if it continues in this manner, then after 20 overs, we might just be having a team score the highest runs in this tournament, which is 267.
The ball has been taken off. Ernestina and Grace Husso will come and take charge, run off a first ball, sending below Biza on strike. Quick runs from the batters. Both batters now on 20. Beloved 20 off of 9 and Nicolette 20 off of 10. A 41 run partnership between this batting pair. Would like to remind Ghana that it is just 1 slot, and whoever loses today is knocked out of the tournament entirely, and they will need to tidy up with the fielding and in the bowling if they want to stand any chance of keeping these runs at a chaseable target. The ball has been taken off, and Estina and Grace Husso will come and take charge, run off a first ball, sending below Biza on strike. Quick runs from the batters. Both batters now on 20. Beloved 20 off of 9 and Nicolette 20 off of 10. A 41 run partnership between this batting pair. Would like to remind Ghana that it is just 1 slot, and whoever loses today is knocked out of the tournament entirely, and they will need to tidy up with the fielding and in the bowling if they want to stand any chance of keeping these runs at a chaseable target.
I must say that the fielding of Ghana has not been encouraging, and they need to do more. Plays it up, but safe, and a maximum to go along with it. Beloved Biza with a beloved shot.
And take a look at that replay again. He came within our threshold, and that was the right thing to do. Stretch that arm to the fullest, picking that ball into the middle of the bat and all the way to that deep region. And now they runs almost a 50 runs partnership, 1 run shy. And Beloved and Nicolete would look to play this game and take it to the very maximum. Cut into the gap, but there was a fielder at the point. 1 run, and it's a 50-run partnership in just 3.4. Almost completed. Zimbabwe with a game plan, electing to bat first. Ghana have wanted to taste what it feels like to set the runs target, and have been unable to do that. 3 previous games, losing all 3 tosses and being sent into field first, losing the 4th one today. For a side that have won 70% of their toss could be coming into the tournament, and now they've lost 100% of their toss. Toss truly is a game of luck.
I can't agree less with you. Sometimes things just go according to plans, and you begin to wonder what exactly happened. White ball declared by Rajesh Pillay. Rajesh Pillay is the on-field umpire, same as Deborah Imobige Orukwe.
Already they are at a comfortable run rate. And then to the 4th over. 51 runs on the board for Zimbabwe, and still yet to lose a wicket. Projected score now sits at 255 with a run rate of 12.75 per over. It is a huge figure that Ghana will need to reduce to the fullest if they want to have any chance of coming in the 2nd inning and successfully chasing.
No run there. After 4 overs, 51 runs, we have not seen anything like this before. Truly, Team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team are taking advantage of the new proposition by International Cricket Council, which says first 6 overs you launch, 7 to 14 overs. Oh my word, yes, gone, and that's the first wicket.
Already a beautiful partnership. It was looking a very unnecessary run attempt, especially noting the fact that they have been really good and already have a beautiful run on the board. Beloved wanting to take another run opportunity. Look there on that replay, they felt that he was in no space. I guess that ball came faster than they anticipated. Nicolete couldn't recover in time into that popping crease, and now Zimbabwe have lost a wicket quite very quickly. and the number 94 will be replaced by currently the highest run scorer for the Zimbabwe side, Christina Mutasa, coming in at 1 down. She is yesterday. She and Beloved took that mantle against the Rwandan side playing the game before the partnership got broken, and Christina took the mantle trying to guide that team to a much-needed victory, which was unsuccessful and postponed as they need a victory of this match to advance into the playoff rounds. 1 wicket already for Ghana, 9 more to go. On the off stump, one bounce into the face of the bat, and good stop in the deep by Ernesta Sago, who's only bowled 1 over so far. A very expensive over she started with, giving out 18 runs of just 6 balls, and hasn't come in yet for our second over. But the bowler currently bowling right now is none other than informed Rebecca Adoti. Up in the air, is that a catch? No, just bounces after the wicket before reaching the field at middle. 1 run. Zimbabwe under 19 will take advantage of Beloved. Now on strike, 2 more balls to end the 5th over. 1 more over, 1.2 more overs until the end of the power play. Rebecca Adoti to Beloved Biza, properly dealt with and stopped at the mid-wicket region. Good stop attempt by Esther Anor. 1 more ball, no run off that ball. 2 dots, 3 innings over, 1 last ball to end the 5th over. This time bounces way high into the middle of the bat, and it just cuts into gap. Will it get to the ropes? No, it doesn't. Give a big chase the fielder, and Zimbabwe under 19 will settle for just 1 run, 2 runs, my correction, to end the 5th over. Right now, it sits at 59 for the loss of 1 after 5 overs.
Thank you very much, Peter. The current run rate is at 11.80. This is absolutely unbelievable. And the projected score is 236. Even at that, that would have meant that they would have scored the highest run at this tournament. But looking at how things are panning out, Christina is the new batter in, has scored 100% strike rate, 6 runs from 3 balls. Beloved Biza still having a good game, scoring 31 runs from 15 balls. And let's see what happens as we try to end the power play. Remember, we're talking about that new rule where first 6 overs, they will tell you to launch. 7 to 14 overs, they will tell you to consolidate. 15 to 17 overs, they will tell you to accelerate. And 18 to 20 overs, finish. They are making good use of the power play. I must say, Peter, if I'm not mistaken, after 5 overs, 59 runs, this is the team that has taken advantage of the power play. I've not seen a team score this much runs after 5 overs.
The task is simple. One problem that Zimbabwe under 19 have been having so far in this tournament is taking this game up to the very end, and they've really struggled with that at some points. And in the moments where they now seem to have gained momentum, they've lost a lot of wickets. So what their approach to this game is to put as many as they can on the board before those wickets start to drop, because they've proven time and time again that the middle order are capable of taking this game as far out as possible. A big swing and a miss by Christiana. 2 of the top batters for this young lady chevrons in the popping crease. Beloved on 31 of 15 balls. Christina just on 6 and hasn't found a rhythm in the game yet. Into the deep it goes and into the boundary it reaches. Christina gets herself into double figures with a lovely 4 to the long on region. The final over of the power play will be exploited, played off the back foot into that empty field space. And 4 more runs must show the happiness of the Zimbabwe on the 19 side. 63 on the board, 10 of 5 for Christina, and 31 of 15 for beloved Biza.
The question is, how will Captain Kokam, Jacqueline, stop these runs that is skyrocketing and might have a negative effect going into the second innings? Only time will tell.
Another boundary for Christina. A dot ball 4 and another dot ball 4. She goes dot 4, dot 4. Grace Christian now getting runs off the bat. This was the first 4. Then they shall forward that race to the boundary. Similar length, similar line. This time the approach was on the front foot. And Ghana are losing momentum. The team's morale is quite low at the moment, as they know if wickets don't drop, this game certainly will go out of hand. Good stop by Rebecca Adote at mid-wicket. A dot 4, a dot 4, and a dot, 3 dots with 2 boundaries. Last ball off the power play. 67 for 1 on the board. It doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't even travel beyond the wicket, the bowler's wicket, and that ends the power play overs. A 67 on the board for 1 after 6 overs completed.
You look at it, 6 overs gone, 2 extras, 67 for 1. Credit must go to them after 6 overs. Giving away 2 extras, it could have been more. That's one positive we need to take away from the bowling of Ghana. Nicolete Inyika, 20 runs. Beloved Biza, the wicket keeper, on 31 not out from 15 balls. Christina Mutasa is also doing very well, scoring 14 off 9 balls.
The boundaries are not slowing down anytime soon. Christina, with the same explosive starts and continuation she picked up against the Rwandan side yesterday. That is a beautiful boundary for the Zimbabwe under 19. 71 already, 35 off 16 for beloved Biza. Rebecca Adote now on the receiving end. Missed the bat, came in contact with the pad of the wicket keeper who couldn't hold on to it, and that forces the ball to move in an opposite direction, giving the batters enough space to get that by run on the board. So only 2 the run sits, 4 more balls to go. Wanted to go big, didn't make the right contact, and Adote will be helpful for that top ball. Already giving out 5 runs off of first 2 deliveries. The third one is motivation. This time late edge above the inner ring circle. The chase to the boundary. Did they get there? Yes, they do. Christina seems to have been okay with the 2 runs, but below Biza, someone that in for 3. The power play has finished. And this time they're using a deep point, a long off, a fine leg fielder, and a deep mid wicket are the only 4 outfield fielders at the moment. Every other person has been employed in bowlers trying to bowl to the field. And Zimbabwe exploiting the field spaces. A lot of gap in the field placement. The young leadership from will look to exploit it primarily on the leg side and behind the wicket keeper. There are more than enough space in those regions for balls to find spaces. Wanting to take a run there, a little bit of hesitation, saying Esther was there. No run yet of the last 2 balls. With a wide in between. This time pulls it to the leg, but there was a plan there. And a deep mid-wicket fielder was employed, preventing any form of boundary from actualizing. 1 run for the Zimbabwe under 19. And we will be coming to the end of the 7th over. 73 on the board. My corrections, it is 77 on the board for the loss of 1 wicket after 7 overs completed. Elizabeth Ano will be the bowler to come from the Court of Appeal end. And the first person should be bowling to the partnership will be beloved Biza. Already on 36 she is. Christina 17 off of 1 staying off strike. And Sago comes in for a second over. Was pulled to the leg side, but we'll be thankful as the fielder was there. Boundary wasn't actualized, and Zimbabwe under 19 will settle for 2 runs. Below Bees are currently on 38. We join the list of batters who have scored half a century in this tournament. The likes of Fani, as well as Nigeria's very own Loki Paiti. Christina is the batter on strike. Off the back foot, goes back in to make that ball. Couldn't play it beyond Elizabeth Ano on the cover field position. Good comeback from Elestina Sagu. Into the gap, this time on the same back foot, same method, same approach, but different direction this time as she finds the gap and takes herself off strike for beloved Bees at 2 more balls. It is still the 7th over. And the runs are certainly building up on the board. Beloved Bees at this time with a front foot. And still the same direction that brought her on strike takes her off strike. 1 more ball. Beloved Bees goes off strike for Christina. A lovely comeback from Celestina Sago. 5 runs in this over so far. As the last ball comes through, Christina approaches it, meets it at the midway point, and sends it to the boundary for a lovely 4 more runs. And 4 runs to end the over. When you look there at that replay, that ball had not pitched and it was in the region to be hooked. A pull shot instead by Christina. And 4 runs to end the 8th over. 86 on the board it is for the young lady chevrons for 1 wicket lost after 8 overs completed. Ricardo forward second over, and she starts off with a dot. It's been quite a while since we saw any dot of the first ball. In fact, in general, it's been quite long since we saw any dot in this match, as every first ball in the previous 8 overs had a run scored off of it. At least pulls it to the leg side beautifully, but again there was a fielder in the deep. The fielder being Kate Awua. Christine on strike. Off the back foot, finds a space, bits the infield, and the outfield has to come to the rescue. 2 runs they run. Did they miss on that? Elizabeth Ano has been sharp on that mid-wicket region. She's been on. Faster ball this time, faster delivery from Eric Hadote, starting to bring pace behind the ball. On several occasions where she's tried that, she's ended up giving extra runs, and that sort of affected her confidence. But now we're back to seeing a faster ball from her. Full at length, yes, yoke let ball. Properly dealt with. And end to the 9th over. It is 89 on the board. It stays, and it's 1 wicket lost. It is the number 28 of the Ghana side, Grace Kwanzaa, coming forward third over. And she comes from the Court of Appeal end. The fielding placement hasn't really changed much, but this time there's a long on, long off, as well as a deep point and a deep fine leg. Still 4 fielders outside of the 30-yard. Comes through and is flicked to the empty region, the deep square region. 4 more runs for beloved Biza. Hey, look at that ball from Grace Kwanzaa. Was quite full and dealt with it before that bounce on one knee, and the runs are still accelerating for the Zimbabwe leadership runs. Team Ghana would have loved to approach this game on a different approach. Haven't really found their rhythm yet in any of the matches, and giving up quite a lot of runs. And the first game against Rwanda, we saw the young Fanny get a new world record. That's been the youngest batter to score a T20 century, as well as the first batter to score a T20 century on debut, and also losing by 168, allowing South Africa under 19 score 168, with only responding with 69 of 10. And against Nigeria, letting Nigeria score 159, losing by 136 runs. Ghana haven't really been at their best in this tournament, and have found it very difficult to chase runs on the board, with the highest run chase they've had to offer being 88, and that was in the first game against Ghana, and against Rwanda. And that's the only match that they've managed to not play all out every game, losing the rest of their wickets. And now Zimbabwe already having something competitive on the board. Aside does also struggle to play out all their overs is the Zimbabwe on the 19 side. Only successfully doing that once. And that was in the game against the fellow youth side. This time around, another leg side into the deep mid-wicket region. It seems like as the wickets are changing, as the field is rotating, Zimbabwe are finding those previously fielding positions on the leg side. The ball came and redirected with a punch by Christina. If you remember earlier on, just after the power play, the over immediately after the power play, there was a deep mid-wicket. And this time it was replaced with a long on, and Zimbabwe under 19 took advantage of that and have been finding the space. A lot of open spacing, a lot of distance in between the fielding settings. A single run, 2 runs off the last ball. It is. And 101 as they get into the 100-run mark. It is beloved Biza currently on 46 and Christina still on 31. 1 wicket lost as we head into the drinks break. Play is set to resume. Kirawa comes back after the drinks break to start our 3rd over, and she starts it with a dot ball.
on 50 runs. Mani from Rwanda, Mika Van Vos from South Africa, the United team, and now beloved, what a way to allow that ball to go for a boundary.
Picks that ball at the right moment and adding more runs to the ball for the Zimbabwean U19. Look at that ball again from that long pitch. Swerved outside and that fielding arrow aided the ball to the boundary. 50 runs partnership comes up already for the Zimbabwe under 19. It is 53 runs partnership of 35 balls for this duo. Goes big again. It is back to back boundaries, beloved. Not taking any time for a breather as the ball comes, and this time she sends it straight down the park. A ball more straighter line this time around. She met the ball with a different direction, and it's still the same result.
One would also have an opportunity to come back to this same venue on Friday for the semi-final game. Will it be Zimbabwe?
These are two teams that Rwanda's side took advantage of and won, and Rwanda will be anticipating that they've had tougher games against the likes of the Nigerian women and the South African women. They would not want to face them, at least not yet, as this will be a game that they have higher chances of winning. But Zimbabwe under 19 are not going down without a fight, already exploding. Nicolette Inyika and Bilo Biza building the partnership earlier on in the game of 52 runs before she got dismissed, and now this partnership is building even something more than that. They've gone beyond the 50-run partnership. Below Biza has been consistent in terms of scoring those runs on the board. Game can resume as the player was in a little bit of discomfort, and now she is fit and play can resume as we look to end this 11th over. It is 111 on the board already and 10.5 overs, beloved, on 60 of 31. Christina already explosive with 27 of 22 balls. Both batters have been very consistent for this women's side, beloved, banking on her experience and taking this game very slowly. A dot ball to start the over, dot ball ends it. It was still 111 for 1, but 11 overs completed.
$10.09. Projected score will be 202. 11 overs gone. 111. The same number of runs an individual single-handedly scored in a debut game is what the entire Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team are scoring after 11 overs. Rashida Tusalia from the Court of Appeal end. Trying to force beloved Biza to do what she originally doesn't do.
A no ball was that ball, and it is a free hit. And of all people to give a free hit to, it is beloved Biza. We're looking at another maximum. On the ground, stays surface level, not higher than the wicket, and they will settle for a free 1 run. Rashida Celia will be thankful. 2 successful balls bowled, 4 more, and the runs are still on the high for the Zimbabwe players.
Much better bowling there from Rashida Tusalia. Oh, piercing through that gap. And what a good stop. Good piece of fielding, ensuring that the ball does not go to the boundary for 4 runs to add to the already runs that the Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team has. No way for Mutasa to add to the runs that she already has, which is 29.
Rashida has been doing a very good job of bowling to the field, and she gets a reward, and here's the wicket of Christina
Mutasa.
Thank you very much. Hey, look at that ball again, that late turn of that ball. The shuffling wasn't of any assistance. She wanted to close the gap between bowler, batter and ball, which was unsuccessful. Very huge wicket for Ghana. The second wicket, the Ghana side is well known. They're very well known for taking wickets. But most point of the game, it is after the damage has been done. Most times it is after the runs on the board are at an extremely high level. This time it is already 2. It looks like the momentum has come back on the side, and a momentum that Zimbabwe under-19 would look to destabilize and take control of the game. And the next person coming in will be none other than Lorraine Pemhiwa. Coming in, 2 down she is, and she's coming. Her first job will be to play through the overs.
If I may ask you, Peter, I know you are not the captain of the Ghanaian female national team. Question is, why did it take this long to bring Rashida Tusalia, one of the best bowlers in the team? She had to come in the 11th over.
You're recognizing where the field placements had been. I would say the decision to not have a deep mid-wicket has been one of the things that have backfired on the Ghanaian women. They've had the deep mid-wicket and not a long gun to fielding position. That should have been very, very much employed, as well as the deep extra covers, because Beloved has been very consistent in playing to the off-cover region, and Christina has targeted that leg side quite very often, as both field settings, they've not been really rotating the field to the strike batter, and that has affected them, leaving a fielder in the position. They could have an extra cover, a long on, long off, which is the right field setting when you're facing, when the batter on strike is Beloved. But they failed to rotate that and have a deep mid-wicket when Christina was on strike, and they took advantage of that opportunity and built even a 50-run partnership. But remains to see, there's a long way to go in this game, and Lorraine is the batter on strike, and remains to see what she is going to do to make them rotate the field settings.
Lauren Peiwa has come to join Beloved Biza, who is on 61. And this is Baki William coming now from the pavilion end. Lovely cut there. Would that ball race for 4? Yes, it does. 4 runs.
When you want to bowl outside of off, you have to keep that ball low. That ball outside off and came high, and the contact was beckoning. Lovely play by the batter Lorraine, and a lovely boundary to add to the team's already high total. Much fuller, but properly dealt with by Lorraine, as she takes herself off a strike with a single, playing that ball really, really low. The young lady Shelf runs are looking to bounce back from previous performances in previous games, and they look to use Ghana as a breaking point, picking up their first couple of points in the Women's Invitational. A wide ball by Esther Bakiniam. A lot of work for the Ghana team to handle. Esther Bakiniam bowling only a second inning of the tournament, wasn't present in the first 2 games, wasn't in the squad for the first 2 games, made her debut against the South Africa under 19s. And she is now making a second match, playing a second match for the Ghana women, and has been entrusted with the ball. And that is an end to the 13th over. 124 on the board for 2 wickets lost.
The current run rate is at 9.54, and the projected score at this rate will be 191. Even at 191, Peter, it's looking more like a humongous task for Team Ghana, except something drastic happens. You have to commend the intelligent bowling of Rashida Tusalia from that end at the Court of Appeal, doing her best in ensuring that the runs don't go up.
So far, she's the one with best economy, giving out just 5 runs in the previous over. She picked up a wicket. This time comes high, and the no ball is the call. A fielding error. That is 5 runs off just 1 ball. The total runs that she had conceded in just 1 over previously has now been gotten off 1 ball. A loose hands from Rashida, and that ball was high and pulled beautifully to the leg side. A deep mid wicket, not dealing with that ball properly, and now she has just gifted the Zimbabweans 4 runs. A free hit to beloved Biza. Didn't deal with the previous one successfully. This time she pulls the second one, pulls it deep and goes off strike. It's only 1 run was gotten off of that. Beloved hasn't been able to properly combat the last 2 free hits that she has been given.
White ball from Rashida to Salia. At this tournament, Peter, the lady that scored the highest score in a single game was Fanny Utagushina Ninde, followed by Mika van Vost today, 69, and following closely is the captain of Nigeria, Lucky Piety, who did 66. Already beloved Biza has equaled the highest score in a single game at this tournament that Lucky Piety achieved today, which is 66, and looks more like she's heading for that runs that Mika scored, which is 69.
Everybody has been closely chasing behind Fanny. Fanny since match day 1, putting 111 on the board. Hasn't really gotten close to that standard, but that century of match day 1 still keeps her on top. And it is going to be a while. You see, there's still 2 more matches to play going forward. So it remains to see if Fanny can pick up momentum and sail herself on top of that batting chart, or we lose it to one of the other 3 contenders. Rashida starting off. Next over, races all the way to the boundary for 4, picked up beautifully by beloved. Already it is the end to the 14th over. 138 it is. 134 sets the total runs for 2 wickets. Fifteenth over, 2 start with as the back in EM. Wonderfully plucked. Played off of 1 foot. Beloved Biza takes herself off the strike. 1 run for the batter. Good start fires the Bakuian. Comes very full and no ball signal by the umpire. And the beneficiary this time around is Lorraine. She will get a chance to break the jinx of the Zimbabwe under 19 of not having to properly score runs off the bat in the off free hit balls. A third attempt, a third chance at maximizing the free opportunity. And this time Lorraine will be the benefactor. Picks it up above the field, it races in. Does it get to the boundary? No, but they take 2 runs. She remains on strike, briefly pulled. 2 runs for the young lady chevrons, as their runs are not slowing down. 142 is what they have on the board at the moment. A full sent deep to the fan leg region, as there was no man there, and that ball beautifully sent to the boundary by Lorraine. Not slowing down, pushing her runs high. That ball comes full, and the right timing of Lorraine complementing every single batter for the young lady chevrons. Have been very consistent with the bat, making sure that they post tangible runs to their tally before getting dismissed. Beloved started this game, has lost 2 partnerships, but I do not think she's missed any, as every batter has contributed with the bat, just like Lorraine did just now. Advances and meets that ball outside of off with a stretch, and she goes off a strike. No, she will take a double, as a fumble from the fielder prompts that charge, and it's going to be 148 with Lorraine still remaining on strike. 21 to her name. Bilobiza will wait a little bit further, a little bit longer, to add to that 68 runs tally. Off a strike in the air, and just 1 bounce. An end, magnificent end to the 15th over. It is 148 on the board for 2 wickets lost. Rashida full our 4th and final over. Picked beautifully on the ground. Fed off that bounce. Niban below Biza finally ticking our board. It is 69 for the young batter. Lorraine now on strike and powering. Plays beautifully into that gap of the front foot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot, I would say. It's worth admiring. You look at that ball again. It was within that reach and just playing it. Quick movement, quick swing off the bat. And that is 4 more runs. They are not taking any boundaries lightly, the Zimbabweans. The young lady chevrons, as I like to primarily address them. Lofted up. Does he get to the boundary? Yes, it does. Rashid Sider, back-to-back boundary victim. And it's none other than Lorraine, who has cemented herself in the batting crease. 29 already for the batter, 157 on the board in total. Below Biza not having to miss.
You have to also say that, Peter, every batter for the Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team has gotten double digits, and not just double digits, but considerable double digits. Already, beloved Biza is on 69, and she has equaled what Mika Van Vos did. Esther Bakiwem should have done better, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
The fielding from the Ghanaians has not been something to write home about. That was a catch opportunity, and there have been a little bit of sloppy fielding on several occasions, and that would have been a catch, and instead he was even aided to the boundary ropes. Lorraine having a few here. She's been in there facing just 19 balls and has already pasted 33 to the team's total off a bat. Goes big, and big she does. A maximum for Lorraine, just stepping in and taking charge, taking off from where Christina left off. Christina and Nicolette, it's like no wicket has been lost. Every batter has been on an attacking phase, and Lorraine hits that hard, picks it off the ground and above the boundary ropes. The fielder could only admire that ball.
She started like an house on fire, Rashida to Salia, but fast track to this over of hers. It's been atrocious. It's been terrible, and a sharp contrast to what we know Rashida to Salia to do. She's been hit for boundary, and you look at what has happened.
From that shot all the way, that is 5 boundaries off 5 leg out deliveries. Very explosive over. 43 runs she's giving out in 3 overs. That is quite a lot if you look at how this game has gone so far.
And maybe you just tell us what Rashida to Salia achieved after the first over. It was more of a brilliant over where only 6 runs was considered, but fast track to this period now, 43 for just 1 wicket that she had, and 16 overs gone. This is where we are. Oh, lovely piece of fielding, runner chance, and runner missed there. Runner chance, runner missed.
Zimbabwe closely following behind, wanting to set a new highest runs target on the board. Prior to this tournament, the highest was 178 as posted on the board by Tanzania. That record was broken in the first match against Ghana by Rwanda, putting 211, and that record is still looks to be sent even lower to the 3rd best highest team score, as Zimbabwe are currently on 171.
Ladies and gentlemen, one bounce for almost close to getting a maximum.
Beautifully pulled by Beloved. 76 is a record, already the second highest individual score in this tournament. And she is still the batter on strike. Played off the front foot, it races. Does it get to the boundary ropes? Yes, it does. It is not looking pretty for the Ghanaian, finding themselves on the wrong side of the record books, and it still seems to be sinking even further. 80 already for Beloved. This time it is 2 runs, 2 settled for a fielder who was put in the deep. At 2 runs was added to the board for the Zimbabwe Yellow Young Lady Chevrons. And a beautiful end to the 17th over. Is 186 on the board already. 82 runs off the bat for Beloved, and 44 for Lorraine, who is coming and is closing in. Wanted to take the run, Lorraine, as they saw that ball was in between Kate and Wa at the point region. Quick decision not to get themselves run out, and Lorraine still stays on track. 44, she has 6 shy of half a century. It will be the 4th half century we'll see today if she stays, and she gets even closer to that with a beautiful sweep to the leg side on an empty leg side. 48 already for Lorraine.
Peter is looking more like the highest score that Rwanda posted against this Ghanaian team will be surpassed. They are on 190 and we are just into the 18th over. They scored 211.
A catch opportunity. The fielder with a little bit of hesitation will rather lose that catch than gift a boundary or an extra run, or just 1 run off that ball, and Biza Beloved is on strike. Been very explosive. 82 already. Will look for a century, and you expect some big shot. Pulls that ball straight down. Is there any chance of stopping it? No, there isn't. A boundary straight down the middle between long on and long off. It is Beloved. Biza now on 86, and the team's total is currently on 195. That ball coming in full.
The boundaries are just coming in their torrents like rain. And ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are watching from, they are on 200 and just 11 shots off getting the target Rwanda got.
Off the front foot played, but wasn't beaten Esther Bakiem, who was in that short covers region, and it's an end to the 18th over. It is still 98 on the board, but now they've got 2 centuries of score on the board, 200, 12 shy of a new tournament best. Kid Awua into bowl the 19th over, and below this is just 2 runs shy of a century. 1 run shy it is for Lorraine as she gets herself into the half century. Fielding error, good backup by the fielder at long on, racing in. 2 fielders had to come together to stop 1 ball. The fielding hasn't really been wonderful by the Ghanaian side. A lot of errors. I've seen Zimbabwe under 19 achieve this feat. 202 on the board for them, and it's already 51 for Lorraine.
And I love the fact that just like she was congratulated, in no distant time, they will congratulate the player who is just 2 shots of scoring century, becoming the second player in this tournament to score a century, and she has batted from ball 1 up onto this level. The boundaries are just coming in their torrents, pouring like rain. Ghana don't have an answer to this batting practice that team Zimbabwe under 19 cricket team are currently displaying, and I can say with all sense of humility that they will surpass what Rwanda achieved.
Yeah, this is a team that will, regardless of the outcome of this match, it is decided that the winner of this game will go on to play Rwanda in the knockout rounds. And if that team is the young lady chevrons, well, they are going there with a statement that what you can do, we can do better, and that will include throw the ball and the bat. Already they have 208 on the board, and this is the 19 over, just 4 shy of a new tournament best. And below Biza, who started this game, is still there, and we played to the very end. We saw that from Fanny on match day 1, match 1, and this is how they would look to sign off in the group fixtures.
That delay is there, but will that delay become denial? That remains to be seen. We are into the penultimate over of the first innings, and there are 3 runs short of equaling the record that we saw of Team Rwanda. Just 1 will be enough.
And just 1 to end the 19th over. It is 209 on the board. So still 2 wickets lost. Final over. The penalty mates over. It is beloved. Just 2 runs shy of the second century of this tournament.
See the scoreboard. Batter number 2 on 98, batter number 4 on 58, 209 in total, 2 wickets down, 19 overs gone. Big shout out to the man running the board, one of the finest bowler who plays for Lagos State cricket team, Karim Ayoku.
And just before this game started, when this game started, we said that Fanny was just Mika was just a run shy of Fanny on that top. But now with this performance from Beloved, she's on 166, 2 runs to get to a century, and she'll be on 168 with Fanny, who is only on 156. last match of the tournament, last match of the group phase, and Fanny has already lost that number 1 spot, and she will be going against. It remains to see how Ghana plan to come back from this, because they've been very unsuccessful, yet to score up to 100. The highest been 88.
And they just equaled what Team Rwanda achieved. I'm sure wherever Team Rwanda are, they will have a second look at this Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team who have equaled their record. And Fanny record also being brought down. She's no longer leading as far as the batting is concerned.
The intentional act from Lorraine to send Beloved on strike to help her get to that century mark. And does she get there? 1 run, 99. Do they take 2? Yes, they do. 2 runs, and it is a century for Beloved Biza, the young lad, national team and youth team player for the young lady and the senior lady chevrons. It is a century, and it is a new tournament best, 213, beating the record from match day 1. And it's the young lady chevrons who put their name in the history books of the Nigeria Women's T20I Invitational.
Every record has been set at the Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup. They had to wait for this tournament to set this record.
Off the back foot, is that a stop? Yes, it is in the deep, as they will go for 2 runs. They keep on increasing that score on the top of the table. 215 it is. Lovely played, Biza. Still on strike. Lorraine. Lorraine is the passenger at this point. As all she just has to do is run when there is a gap, a wide run, and the runs keep increasing on top of that table. 216 is the score now. 3 more balls to go to the end of the first inning. Already a new tournament best. Ghana on the wrong side of the record. First and second highest team total in this game. Have Ghana at the receiving end of the record books. Another wide just keeps making this record easier for the young lady chevrons. 2 more balls, but it's still upping them already on top of the highest team total by 6 runs. They are 217, and they've done that with just 2 wickets lost. Short, beautifully played to the leg side. A big chase, as there was no one played in between deep mid wicket and long on. And Beloved Biza just keeps increasing our total and the team's. Final ball, the entire Ghana team actually right now, they look very uninterested and demotivated. It is the last ball. They've not been really excellent with the bat, and they will be tested in the second inning, and that is where the Zimbabwe will look to take advantage. Played very big over the infielders. What a way to end the first inning. Beloved Biza, a boundary off the last ball, and it is 221 for 2 wickets lost after 20 overs completed.
Beloved Biza, 110 runs, not out, 1 short of the record set by Fanny Utagushinaninde. But the more important thing she will be interested in is the fact that she is now the leading run scorer at this tournament with that brilliant performance. Ghana need 226 runs in 20 overs. The question is, can it happen? Thank you to Rajesh Pillay And of course, Deborah Imobige Orukwe will be back for the second innings.
Now needing 226 of the next 20 overs. And they've sent in quite early. It seems like they are back to the batting order of match day 1 and match day 2. The previous game, they sent in Kid Awuwa first to partner with Rashidat Sadia, which backfire, and now Rashidat Tusalia is the number 1 pairing with the familiar face of Elizabeth Ano. 1 run, they add to the board quite quickly, but it's still quite low. It is 226 needed of the next 100 and 225 needed of the next 119 balls. The required run rate is still above 10. The current run rate hasn't started to tick. Elizabeth Ano on strike. And here's the captain, Buleben Kosi. Mapusa takes charge. Every dot ball is a pressure, and when pressure sets in, so does frustration. And that is where Zimbabwe will have an higher hand. A dot ball ready. 1 of 2 balls. Ghana might feel this game have gone out of their hands and will look to play with dignity, keeping most of their wickets in the air. Does this go? Yes, it does. Beats the infielders and races to the boundaries. No one was there. Elizabeth Ano hooking that ball off the first bounce. Playing it just above the mid-wicket fielder, taking advantage of the power play and quite early bouncing back from that dot ball. It is 5 runs off the first 3 balls. Still behind on the required run rate. It is Ghana batting first. The young lady Chevron took charge in the first inning, and the captain has looked to kickstart it for them. Loud appeal felt there was an edge with the umpire. Doesn't acknowledge, and Elizabeth Ano will stay and try to continue off the form that she started with. Mind you, just before this tournament, the highest run scored was 178 posted by Tanzania against Sierra Leone in the 2024 edition of this Nigeria Invitational Women's Trophy. And this match is the highest with the 225 a run total that Tanzania will look to challenge. Look at that ball just outside of off. And I know Elizabeth channeling that pace and that speed into the gap to the third man region, taking advantage of the power play. 4 more runs, 9 already, as Ghana will look to try and level it on the required runs per over, easing pressure going into more overs. Elizabeth Ano already on a quick start. A dot ball of the last ball. It is 9 for no wickets lost after 1 over of play. Tidawa Garutsa will be coming from the Court of Appeal end to complement what Buleben Kosi Mapusa started. 9 runs in the first over. And the second over starts with a spin. The spin gives to the Rwandans an edge. And yesterday's a counter against the fellow youth side. Two balls, two dots. Rashidatu Salia hasn't been able to register more than one run in a batting inning so far. Plays off the back foot. Lovely attempt from the infielder to slow the ball down, giving the outfield deep mid wicket a chance to meet the ball at its range. One run, she goes off strike. I know Elizabeth already started off explosively. He's on strike. Trying to pick that leg side, but it is a wide for the Zimbabweans. One more run, it adds to the board for Ghana. Shinwadi Dawa, welcome to the comms box. 1.3 overs has already gone. And Ghana are trying to chase down on 225, needing 226 to win.
Thank you, Elizabeth Anon and Rashidatu Salia are not going down without a fight. Tadiwa coming from the Court of Appeal end into the second over. The runs looks humongous, but they are not going down without a fight. An appeal, but the straight face Rajesh Pillay is not interested, but more importantly interested in the game getting on.
It is the end to the second overs. 3 more runs to the board, pushing the total to 12 runs for no wickets lost in 2 overs completed. The captain Bileben Kusimapusa will let the ball in the arms of another capable player. It is Salem coming from our favorite end, the pavilion end, and will be bowling to the explosive Anno Elizabeth.
A team has never chased this number of runs, but we wait to see whether impossibility can become possibility. A missed opportunity there from the lady who has the best catch at this tournament, Elizabeth Anon, against Nigeria, off the batting of Esther Sandy.
At least there are some positives that the Ghanaians can't take out of this tournament. Elizabeth trying so hard, but they made that ball on the right timing. Close to the bat grip, that ball was the contact. And it is a dot ball. Only 2 outfielders still, because we're still within the power play. And there's a deep square leg as well as a deep mid wicket. I know Elizabeth trying to find the offside of the field, as the onside has been closely tight and guarded, and she cannot look to find a boundary off of that region. And Salem isn't giving her any breathing space. Beautifully bowled it is. Turned in, and this pin gets the dominance. When you look right at that ball again, Salem with that googly turn, catching Anno Elizabeth off guard. She's been in fine form, started just 9 runs off 12 balls she's faced. And Radiatu has seen an early partnership break, hasn't really been blistering for this side, but now she is going to be pairing in with another batter, and this time it is Jocelyn Ahama coming in 1 down. Kate Awua has gone further down the batting order in the first 2 games they played. She came in 1 down the last game, and the 3rd game she had opened the bat in a decision that seemed to backfire, And now Ghana have brought her even lower down the batting order as a tactical change, a tactical approach, trying to keep their most precious wickets for as long as possible and see if they can play out the rest of this game. Once the two opening pair partnership has been broken, and then that middle order comes in, that middle order bowling lineup comes in, then she can look to feast off of those, trying to give her lengthy time in the batting crease.
Salem Museka is coming from the pavilion end, and Jocelyn would have a taste of what Salem is doing with the ball. Jocelyn, the new batter. Ahama. And the first ball, it's a dot ball to the admiration of the teammates. And that has brought us to the end of the third over. What is required is 12.59 per over. But currently what Ghanaians are doing is 4.00. And if it continues this way, it's almost safe to say that the semi-final pairing for the Nigeria Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the 5th edition, Christian, the Patricia Chipo Kabarami Cup, will see Rwanda take on Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team. Tadiwa, the first over was 3 runs, and now she's back again from the Court of Appeal end. Garutsa Tadiwa.
The sloppy fielding that the young lady Chevron have benefited from in the first inning, they are not giving that same privilege to the Ghanaian batters, as the tight fielding has seen run barely escape unnecessarily, and Ghana have had to play right off their bat, off every ball and into spaces.
Oh, brilliant piece of fielding there.
Lovely stop to do Tadiwa. 4 runs so far in this over. In this inning, 3 in the first over, 1 so far, 3 more balls to come. Rashida to Salia hasn't really picked a rhythm. She's off track for now. Jocelyn Ahama still yet to add any run to the board. 4th over in play, and it's only 1 run that has been added so far. The required run is still exponentially high, as now there are less than 100 runs, 100 balls left, and they still need at least 213 runs to win this game. That is putting the required run rate at 13.04, and they are striking at 3.55. The distance, the difference and the gap between what is required and what is being put there is exponentially high. And I do still see and wonder how Ghana plan, or what was their approach to try and take out this game, even though it seemed impossible.
Peter, the implication of the runs that Ghana gave Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team to achieve, which is a record at this tournament, is that needing 13 runs per over meant that you need to score a maximum and maybe 2 boundaries to go along with it, or better still, you score 3 boundaries, which is 3 fours, to give you a fighting chance in this tournament. But as we speak, 4 overs gone, 13 runs on board, 1 wicket down. They need 213 runs in 96 balls. Jocelyn Ahama has faced all balls yet to score any run. And Rashida to Salia is gone.
There was no intention behind that shot. Still ball came. She just put her back there to make the ball, and that was the punishment for such decision. When you want to play a ball, there has to be a lot of intentionality behind it. There wasn't behind this ball this time. It was just to make contact, and that contact sent the ball flying and into the arms of the awaiting fielder. A very much needed wicket, and a very beautiful wicket to end the fourth over.
Against Nigeria, where they lost by 136 runs, they scored 23 all out, but now they are on 13, and you can say that they might surpass that 23 runs, which was the lowest in this tournament. But then 12 more or 11 more runs, and they will have surpassed what they did against Nigeria.
Kid Aoua is still further down the batting order as the new batter in is Abigail Muzu, coming in at number 4. As Ghana desperately in need for more runs. .45 is the required run rate, and the current run rate is at 3.12. It keeps sinking and dipping down at every beckoning. 1 wicket, 2 for Salem, and she's still yet to give out a single run in any of her balls. 7 balls bowled, no runs given.
Well, one thing is sure, Rixin Tete will not lose on both sides. Even if Ghana loses, Nigeria gave him a victory, and that victory was very, very exciting to him. Happy birthday to you, Rixin Tete, Vice Chairman, Association of Cricket Umpires and Scorers in Nigeria, National, and of course the Head of Administration at the Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, for you marching into greatness in the month of March. Happy birthday to you. We see you after our job.
It is the first run in Salem's over, and this time she was the one who gave the freebie with a wide, and 1 more run adds to the board as this game slips further and further away from the grasp of the Ghanaian batters. Abigail Amuzu to the ball, and no contact this time. Ghanaian batters are dotting a lot of balls, so many dots, and they need runs on the board. We already almost 5 overs completed, and they still not be able to put 20 on the board in the air and in no man's land. At that advantage, the disadvantage of a deep square leg is employed and capitalized upon by the Ghanaian batters. 1 run takes out all strike, and Jocelyn Ahama facing a 5th ball and a chance to add a run on the board, which will further be delayed. 5 balls faced and still no run for Jocelyn. 1 run off the bat in Salem's over with an extra 2 runs total in 11 balls bowled. Final ball of the 5th over. Final ball will have to wait. White signal by the umpire, and there is another freebie, an extra. No ball call by the umpire, overstepped a marker, and it's taking even longer to conclude the over. And now Jocelyn Ahama gets that chance to finally go big and probably register runs for herself and the team. Doesn't get that chance. A free hit not capitalized upon, And that brings us to the end of the 5th over. It is 17 on the board and just 2 wickets lost.
One thing huge total does to you, you are already dealt a psychological blow before even getting in to go and respond. And looking at that score of 225, you want to say that he already dealt a psychological blow on Team Ghana and they needed to deal with that. But the Zimbabwean under-19 team are not leaving anything to chance in spite of the total that they scored. And after 5 overs, they are 17 for 2. The required run rate is now on 13.93. And what they are currently achieving is 3.40, a sharp contrast to what is required. Wide ball, they will take any run at this juncture, both with the bat and without the bat. And that will bring them to 18. I said against Nigeria, they all combined to score 23 all out, losing that game by 136 runs. But they are currently on 18 runs for loss of just 2 wickets. And you want to say, in spite of everything that happened in the first innings, this is an improvement. Tadiwa Garusa not creating any opportunity for Abigail Amuzu. Missed opportunity for another wicket to drop.
Salem was that fielder at short covers. But now the field is even tighter. Every fielder has had to come in as 2 steps closer to the batter, as Ghana have not been successful in finding the gap. The only batter who has attempted that has gone out, Arno Elizabeth. Abigail calls the run and gets it. Jocelyn finally gets a run on the board for herself and the Ghanaian team, but they are still far from the required runs and target. There's still more than 200 runs needed, and the run balls are currently at 87. Tadiwa with a third over hasn't picked up a wicket with 2 wickets. The 2 wickets been taken by Salem, 1 bowled and a caught. Over the field, takes advantage, and now they can get 2 more runs to the board for Ghana. It is still less than enough, but it's something that will motivate them going forward. 1 more ball for the power play, and we might see an extended field setting, or Zimbabwe wills to go with the already active and effective field placements that have restricted the Ghanaian batters from scoring multiple runs. A dot of the last ball, it ends, and the power play ends. There is 22 on the board for 2 wickets lost.
See that on your screen. Rashida Tusalia, 3 runs. Anna Elizabeth, 9 runs. Both batters have finished their game. But batting now is Jocelyn Mansa Hama, who has scored just 1 run from 8 balls. And Abigail Ama Amuzu, who has scored 4 runs from 8 balls also. So they've combined to face 16 balls and 5 runs in between them. They need 204 runs in 84 balls. This is looking almost impossible. But like I say, impossibility is nothing. The required run rate is 14.57, and what they are achieving is 3.67. Salem is back again from the pavilion end. She already has 2 wickets to her name. Will she add more to it? Only time will tell.
the usual tradition of giving opening bowlers 2 overs and resting them for the penalty meets overs has been abandoned in this tournament. We've seen bowlers come several times to bowl, and it is paying off as Salem gets the 3rd wicket. And it's the wicket of Jocelyn. Jocelyn hadn't really found a rhythm, and on the 10th ball, she goes back to the pavilion. Lovely turn ball by Salem, and the wickets keep plummeting further and further. And there was that ball again. Late reaction from Jocelyn, waited until that first bounce and the turn to make an attempt. And now, even now, Kate Awua is still not sent in. It is the captain herself, Jacqueline Kokam, that will come in and try to salvage what is left of this game. The required run rate now sits at 14.93. That is approximately 15 runs required per over, and the current strike rate is less than 3.5. $110 for beloved Biza in the batting innings, 3 wickets for 4 runs. In the bowling innings for Salem, Zimbabwe are going further into this game and trying to make a statement ahead of the playoff match that they might potentially have if they win this game against Rwanda. We'd like to remind you, the audience at home, that the winner from this game will go on to face the table topper Rwanda, and from this end it is looking likely that Zimbabwe under 19 will be that team to go on and progress and get a rematch after being dismantled against an experienced Rwandan team. A dropped catch, and there will still be a run-out opportunity that was missed. That was a chance for a wicket, and beloved Biza couldn't capitalize on that opportunity. The catch was Jacqueline Kokam, initially dropped by the short covers, and now a run-out opportunity, had all the time in the world and still couldn't capitalize on it. Tension, and unnecessary tension, I would say.
If I was to give a decision, just imagine the allowance of the wicketkeeper was with me, I would delay it. That is never acceptable. But then, it is what it is. It does happen. A missed opportunity for the 4th wicket to drop. But they've just equaled what they achieved as a team against Nigeria, where they scored 23 all out. And now they are still on 23 into the 7th over, and they have 7 wickets at hand. Captain Jacqueline Kokam and Abigail Amuzu are the ones batting.
Salem has been one of the best bowlers for this young lady Chevrons. She and Tadiwa have taken this game by the horn. Beloved Biza, much deserved, and that was that run-out chance, a dropped catch and a run-out chance. 2 lives at once.
Thank you very much, producer. Some persons might be watching from home and saying, why is this man saying you're going to be told the allowance? I think that replay will help you to judge whether my assertion was right or wrong. But then 7 overs gone, 23 runs for loss of 3 wickets. 203 runs required in 78 balls.
I do not think that they recognize that, as there was a 4 defensive stroke by Jacqueline Kokam, just one of 2 balls she has to her name. And it's still far from enough. The required run is over 15 now, already approximately at 16. And they're not doing a very good job in terms of taking the chances that they are getting. 7.23 balls bowled, 7.2 balls bowled. And they were coming for our fourth over. If you remember quite vividly, it was the captain, Buleba Nkosi Mapusa, who started off the bowling inning. And after one over, she withdrew and handed the ball to Salem, who has gone further to take 3 wickets. Power play has been over since, but the field placement remains. It is still a deep square leg and the deep mid wicket. And Jana has struggled to really find those gaps and play into those spaces. Late reaction, the same late reaction that we have addressed of the Ghana batters. They have not really met the ball at the first time of asking, always meeting the ball late in, and it has cost them 3 wickets.
After the 8 over 24 runs for loss of 3 wickets, they need 202 runs in 72 balls. The required run rate is 16.83 and the current run rate is 3.00. You mentioned the captain of the Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team, Bulembe Tosi Mapusa, at the center during the toss. When she won the toss, she said the reason she elected to bat first was because this is a batting surface and every other person who have batted first have always gone ahead to win. And I asked her, I said, what is the total you intend to put up? She said 130 will be fine for them. And when I asked her, Kokam Jacqueline, the captain of the Ghanaian team, she said she would have loved to bat first, but there are other plans. And I asked her, what are the other plans? Their other plans was to reduce their opponent to 90. But guess what? One player even scored more than 90.
And the late reaction from Jacqueline Kokam just isn't attempting to add any more runs to the board, and rather would prefer to stick there. 25-4-3 still sits Salem's final over, and we'll get to see another bowler. But for now, slow, this game slow and steady, and in this case might not win that race. It is now at 200, having put 26 of that on the board. They are needing 200 of the next 69 balls now. Comes through. How is that? Is the appeal? The finger goes up, hitting the toes of the batter. Abigail will go out with just 4 runs contribution to the team. When you look at that replay, sinking in, was turning back in, umpire's vision was accurate, and it is another wicket for the young lady Chevron. The runs are not coming, and neither are the wickets staying to fight hard for it. And the batting order is ticking down. We're still here to see Kate Awua coming. She is still further down that batting order. Miriam Eshon is the new batter coming in, 2 bat ahead of Kate Awuha.
Nigeria remains the only team in this tournament to chase and win. Did that against Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team in the first game where they won by 8 wickets, and did that today against Team South Africa under-19 cricket team where they won in the Super Over. 2 under-19 was where they achieved that result.
Very much so, it appears. As most teams that have won the toss, there's still yet to be a team to win the toss that has elected to field first. Every team that's won the toss have gone with the batting first option. A no ball off. This ball, a lot of freebies been given by Miriam. My correction, Salem. 8 runs conceded in a bowling over. 6 have been extras. That's a lot. Just 2 runs off a bat in a playing over. Wanted to take a run to the wicket keeper, and this time Beloved gets the wicket. Jacqueline unlucky as she instigated that run, and now another wicket has dropped in quick succession. Miriam running from the strikers end, and Jacqueline unable to meet at the strikers end. If you look at that replay, you will see the Jacqueline initially hesitant, but Miriam was already halfway past, and she just had to take that chance and try to complement, hoping to get on strike on time, which she failed to do. Good call by the umpire Rajesh Pilal, and 5 wickets already. We're not even into the halfway stage of this game. Kate Awuha finally will be coming in to bat for Ghana. Ghana's highest wicket taker and highest run scorer. 3 innings she has batted and only able to register 44 on the board, Kate Awuha. And there was that run out. The captain looking, hoping to not see the umpire's finger up, which I doubt was clarified. It was a run out. Kate Awuha's best was against Rwanda, putting up 31 of 56 ball faced, and the second inning coming 1 down, it was 12 of 18. The decision to bring her opening against Nigeria, one before game taken out of the second ball, and I seen her drop down the batting order, coming in at number 7.
Maybe it was a tactical decision by Coach Kofi Anafi.
And that is the end of the 9th over. A wicket in that over, 2 wickets actually in that over, and it is 27 for 5. There was that run out chance again, a little bit of hesitation from the captain, but given that she was at a much more greater chance of reaching there than Miriam Eshin returning, she took off. I bet it was an unsuccessful attempt, and she had lost her wicket. Salem, 4 wickets in 8 overs. This was the first wicket. The first wicket of this over, the just concluded over. It was the wicket of Jocelyn before that run out took place. 4 wickets of 8, giving out 8 runs in 4 overs. That was beautiful. Remember, the first over was a maiden wicket over, and she's taken out wicket in subsequent overs.
And with this kind of bowling spell, she has an honorable mention for player of the match performance, aside from the fact that beloved Biza scored 1 run, 2 runs, not out. The runs that has taken her to the summit of the batting. With that performance of Salem, she's in for a shout. Oh, brilliant start, good chase, and good stop. They will make comfortable 2 runs.
What a way to start off Tawanasha's over. Coming in 2 bowls for the 3rd time in this tournament. Picked up only 2 wickets so far, 1 against Nigeria, 1 against Rwanda, yet didn't pick up a wicket. And we look to add to that against an already pressured Ghana side. Miriam on strike. Loud appeal, which the umpire does not agree to. No out, he says. Miriam Eshun has doubled a tournament's best, having scored 1 against Nigeria in the last outing. She's not scored in her 2 previous batting innings until now. Late turn of Tawana Yasha's ball. And they survive a scared Mirameshun. Still stays. Kate hasn't had a run to her name yet. 3 balls shy of the drinks break. Tawana visibly attacking the stump. Just 1 bounce and drops in front of the skipper. Bulebenkosi Mapusa. They're taking absolute control of this matchup, Zimbabwe. Still much runs needed. 197 is still needed, and this time it is just 6 of 61 balls. No way Ghana comes on to win this match. Required run rate sits at 19.08, with the current run rate being at 2.95. They are way behind what they need to get this game to give this game any fighting chance at all. What they just need to do now is try and not keep up their wickets in the air, but just very far out of the reach of the nearest fielder. Nicoletti giving that ball a chase and not getting that wicket. There was that ball again, flipped up, and the big chase was given. Lovely attempt and lovely instinct by Christina to make sure that ball doesn't go beyond that. It is the midway point of this game, and the inning break is triggered. 29 was on the board and 5 wickets lost.
Thank you very much, Peter, and great bowling spell from Tawana Yasha Zomarima, who gave away just 2 runs. See again on your screen, Bulembento Shimapusa, the captain, has just bowled 1 over. No wicket to her credit. Tadiwa Garutsa has bowled 4 overs, 17 dot balls, 10 runs, had no wicket. Salem Museka, best bowling spell, 4 overs, 21 dot balls, 8 runs, 4 wickets, economic rate of 2.00. And just starting is Tawanayasha Vomarima, 1 over, 2 runs, 2.00 economic rate. Drinks break, we will be back. For the batting, quickly, Rashidatu Salia and Ano Elizabeth, 12 runs in between them, facing 17 balls. Rashidatu Salia and Jocelyn, just 1 run they scored. Jocelyn and Abigail, 9 runs they scored from 14 balls. Abigail Amuzu and Jacqueline Kokam, 4 from 14 balls that they face. And of course, Jacqueline Kokam and Miriam Eshun, just 1 run. Miriam Eshun and Keta Wua, just 2 runs from 7 balls. And those are the 2 that are currently batting. One thing drinks break does is either it re-energizes the batting side or it re-energizes the fielding side. Great to have Endurance of M back after a long hiatus.
Yeah, thank you, Ajidagba. Good evening and good evening to our viewers. It's 29 for 5 after 10 overs. We're into the 11th over. It's a tall order here for Ghana, needing 197 runs of 59 deliveries. Kate Awua and Mariam batting for Ghana at the moment. It's been an all Zimbabwean under-19 show, and hopefully they continue to show this resilience. Already the semi-final slots are set. It will be Rwanda taking on Zimbabwe at this stage, and South African under-19 again will lock on with the Nigerian team on Friday. Tomorrow is rest day, more dot balls here, and they're just dotting them away and hoping that something would happen. This has been a good experience for the Ghanaian side, who have been away from international cricket for 3 years, and hopefully they continue to attend such tournaments because the opportunities are there and enormous for players to continue to showcase their talents and skills. We love Biza, the Centurion, just dotting them away, enjoying her cricket. I'm sure she'll be looking forward to that game against Rwanda on Friday.
And the beloved has struck. Ladies and gentlemen, just when Endurance of Fame was talking about the Centurion, a performance that reminds me of my humble self, beloved Biza struck and claimed the wicket, and she has to take a walk. No answer to that bowling. 6 wickets down, but the most important thing, in every game there are lessons to be learned. The game against Nigeria, they scored 23 all out. Now they are on 29. And for a team that was out for that long and coming back to put up this performance is worthy of commendation. And in comes the new batter. And let's see what she does. The first assignment for the left-hand batter is to have a feel of the bowling of the beloved one. Ernestina Sego.
Interesting to see beloved Biza, second centurion of this tournament. Beyond that, funny day from day one. It's never easy to get runs. Beloved into our last delivery of the 11th over, and this will be a wide and clearly indicated run-out opportunity. Again, the call is no. Umpire Rajesh very clear about that one, right under his nose. And perhaps a bit of tired legs there. 31 for 6. Current run rate is 2. Need not look at the required. I think this is just going to be Ghana going through the motions to see how long they can bat. But it's been a good experience for the girls. And they continue to show resilience here. No ball is the call by the umpire. It's a free hit. Question is whether Ghana have the quality. Miriam, will she be able to go through this? She's only scored 2 runs off 9 deliveries.
And for the second time, a wicket, but then the visionary umpires see it from a no-ball angle and a free hit. Umpire Deborah Imobige Orupe, rather that beloved Biza having a wicket. It is a free hit, but that free hit opportunity missed by Miriam. as shown. And we have come to the end of the 11th over. 32 runs for 6 wickets. They need 194 runs in 54 balls. The current run rate is at 2.91. But what is required is 21.56. Even in his A-days, Endurance of Fame will see this as an overkill.
Trust me, I won't even want to bat at this point because it's just you going through the motion. Can be boring as it can be, but we've had a good tournament so far. And yes, breaking point for the players. Tomorrow is rest day. Hopefully they can recover nicely and be back for an amazing show on Friday. And straight away she departs. Another wicket loss. Tawanayashe gets one for herself and country. Just that one went through. No foot movement whatsoever. That's good bowling. Wicket to wicket line. Welcome back, Peter, into the comms box. Peter, it's been an interesting first innings. Second innings, 32 for 7 after 11.1 overs.
Ghana already finding themselves on the wrong side of record books. You know, when you go back to record books and you look at highest team total in the top 3, Ghana are in the top 2, giving a 217 in the first opening game of this tournament, this edition, and 225 they allowed the Zimbabwe under-19 get off them in today's match, and they've not done a very good job in terms of combating and trying to get to that runs needed. And it looks like the Zimbabwe under-19 are going to be the one to face against the Rwandan side. They've picked up momentum from the first 3 losses, and they are pouring out all the aggression on this Ghana side. I hope they reserve a little bit of it when they go on to play Rwanda and the playoff fixtures coming up 2 days from now.
I can't agree less for those opportunities. A big swing and misses on that one. There's 2 balls left from that over. Umpire Rajesh signaling his partner. Tayawana Shah continues to ensure this over is bowled quickly. Needing 3 wickets. Run opportunity, misses out on that one. The chase is on. And just 2 runs taken from that delivery.
Naomi could have prevented a run, and there was a run out chance, but she was too in a hurry and didn't see the empty bowlers end, which will have had this game and quite much faster. 3 wickets already in the tail end, and we've seen the tail end of the batting lineup of Team Ghana. They've not really been very excellent in terms of combating the balls and footwork as well, and teams have capitalized on that, pulling on their tools, on their pads, and getting LB appeals granted by the umpires. It is the end of the 12th over. It's 34 on the board, 4-7.
That's the tall order there. Ghana needed 192 runs from 48 deliveries. That's another dot ball. They continue with those dots. Grace, his beloved Biza, mostly trying to get that partnership off again.
Not what she did with the bat apparently is not enough. She also wants to disturb them with the ball, as we already picked up a wicket for herself. Lovely played. Miriam Eshon had not had a lovely tournament, playing only one run before today, and she's gone on a very fast lane, taking up the charge, and has been much more better with handling the bat in today's game. Not too many runs she's been able to play off her bat, and neither has anyone except Anno Elizabeth, who scored 9 runs before getting out. Miriam has been there to face 15 balls. There's not been any batter that has stayed long enough for 15 balls. And she is doing just fine, if you ask me. For the tail end, she came in as.
On this time around, Dobbs through square leg for a single. Interestingly, it's good to see how Miriam at least trying to spend some time at the crease, ensuring that they would bat 20 overs. There's still a long way to go.
Want to play out the rest of their overs, I'm certain. 3 wickets, it's already a slap in the face that they allowed. I wouldn't say allowed, that they were played 225 off a young Zimbabwe side, and it will be even more disappointing if they were to lose all their wickets during that period.
Big shout there, and it's a wicket. Beloved Biza enjoying the day. She got a second now. LBW it is. I'm disappointed. Grace is just showing that frustration a bit. They're on the replay. Right on her toes. The umpire there, very sure. Grace departs. $37 for 8. There's 2 more wickets, and we call it a day here. Match day 5. Match number 10.
Two more balls to end the 13th over. Beloved Biza still with the ball and picked up 2 wickets off, giving just 6 runs. No.
Keeper missing that one. That brings us to the end of the 13th over. It's 37 for the loss of 8 wickets. Not a good show in terms of current run rate. The bowling scorecard, wickets. Salem Museka, 4 wickets, 421. That economy rate. About in partnership there hasn't been much to write home about. The highest been that of Rashida to Salia, 12 of 21. Plays and misses that one again. Tawayana shot. Just easily dotting them away from 2-3 paces and just keeping things simple.
That was a run-out attempt. Desperation is taking the best of the batters in the popping crease. You look at that ball again, not waiting for the ball to beat the fielder. The fielder was on ground, and that was almost ground for them to take a run. Good attempt and lovely throw by the fielder at covers.
Yeah, the good combination here between Tawanayasha and Beloved Biza. Just fielding around cover region. So from the bowler to the batter to Biza. This time in the air, she wanted wicketkeeper, couldn't get there quick enough.
The leading wicket taker for these teams today have both done on the wicket keeping part. Salem taking 4 wickets, giving just 8 runs. And she is now putting on the wicket keeper's part. Below Biza, who started off as the wicket keeper, has picked up 2 wickets and giving out just 6 runs already. There's a lot that tells you just how broad and veterinary the entire team of this Zimbabwean U19 are. Everybody is doing everything.
She's going to continue from around the wicket. Big shout out, umpire Rajesh, not interested. And that brings us to the end of the 14th over. Score stays at 37 for the loss of 8 wickets. Beloved continues from the pavilion end of this over. More dot balls. She tries to go big, Rebecca, but no contact. No real contact on that one. Not getting the vibes, perhaps. Beloved Pisa just enjoying herself, been rewarding for her with the bats and also with the ball. No doubt a player of the match performance.
It's already certain that Beloved Biza will be the player of the match, giving a fantastic batting prowess. Helping the team set a new tournament best. She didn't set a personal, tournament personal, but she is the second highest run. She was just one shy of Fanny, who scored 111 in the first opening fixture, and she closed the group fixture with 110. And now she's topping that batting chart with 178. That is 12 more runs than Fanny, who is on 156. One more ball for Beloved Biza, and we'll be down into the last 5 overs of this over. And that is a maiden end to the over for Beloved Biza. It is still 37 for 8.
She goes big, but didn't really get hold of it. Not coming from that meaty bat area. Tayanasha continues from the Court of Appeal end.
The balls keep getting less and less. It is 28 balls now, and the run still needed is 189. The required runs now can only be achieved if there are a lot of freebies, like no balls to be more precise, because 40.50 in an over where the maximum you can get of legal deliveries are 36. This game is far gone and far out of the Ghana players. What they can just look to do is play out the rest of the remaining overs. But in terms of victory, it is bye-bye.
She goes big ball straight to the fielder. That one is jersey number 18 for Zimbabwe under 19s. More and more dots. No, is the call. Not interested. Rebecca at the non-strikers end. 6 runs off 27 deliveries for Miriam. Brilliant shot. Straight to run opportunity missed.
Tawanayasha has picked up only 1 wicket so far, but she's been bowling very well. As it's still not yet possible, they haven't scored a run of the last 11 balls bowled. Comes full, for inexperience gets the best of Miriam Meshon. Doesn't find that space, and it is back-to-back maidens for the young lady chevrons. Still 37, it stays for 8 wickets after 16 overs. 24 more balls and 189 is what is needed. A wicket scare survived. That will have been an LBW for Rebecca Dortier, who is still yet to get off the mark. 18 balls bowled, now 20 balls bowled by beloved Biza, and only 6 runs she's given, picking up 2 wickets in the process. Rebecca still hasn't gotten off the mark, finding it very difficult to break through that field settings. With only one more fielder added to the expanding field setting, steals deep square and deep mid wicket, and now a long run is added to it, but she will be idle for now as beloved Biza picks up our 3rd wicket. That well bowled, and Rebecca will go out 10 balls faced for no runs.
And that delivery straight on, hitting the off stump. That means a wicket for beloved Biza. What an amazing performance by her. A century today and 3 wickets. She's hard. 37 for 9 it is from 16.4 overs. And beloved will be hoping to get a 4th, which guarantees Zim under 19s a place in the semis against table toppers Rwanda.
When you look at that wicket again, that ball just dipping in before the bat. We talked about it several times. How the Ghana batters react very late. 2 balls. If he was the Zimbabwe batters, the likes of Lorraine and Christina, as well as Beloved, that ball will be met before that first pitch. But inexperience has taken the hold. Inexperience and delay in terms of bat to ball movement has cost the Ghana batters very dearly. And it's already their last wicket. Esther Bakiyinem, the new batter in. And it's still 2 more balls. Beloved Biza, 2 chances. 2 add to already 3 wickets.
Hopefully it will be nice to see Esther Bakiwayem go through her career. The father played for Nigeria in my time. Interesting cricketer he was. Very competitive young man. And it's good to see that the passion is trickled down the family. But at the moment it is 37 for 9 and we are into the 5th ball of the 17th over. Another dot.
5 dots. I haven't scored a single run in the last 17 balls faced. That is Ghana. And then the 18th time they get a chance, and they get a chance at a boundary as that ball races to the boundary late edge and races behind the wicket keeper to an empty 3rd man region. 4 runs for Esther. She kicks off that run total.
And that tick outside edge, just found that no fielder placed around that region. 41 for 9 now after 17. 18 balls left in this innings. That's a tall order. Never seen such a run rate required. 61.6. There's no way you can call this a dead rubber.
Benkusi still not wanting to come and has entrusted the ball with another player, and this time it is going to be another batter, Christina Mutasa, who will take the ball and look for a wicket. Was good with the bat before getting dismissed and will not look to add wickets to our statistics. Win play bill was dislodged as we wait while the wicket keeper rearranges the bills for play to resume. Zimbabwe under 19 have been very aggressive, not just in this match but in previous matches. I'd asked the captain Bile Benkosi what happens as to why the results have not gone your way. A response being they've not kept their wickets long enough today, and they proved that with wickets comes results. Back to pace they've come with Christina Mutasa as the first ball still doesn't find anywhere. Miriam Eshun, 30 balls, the most balls faced in this inning by any Ghana batter. Esther Bakiwiem on the off strike. Over the field, into the gap, they take 1, they take 2. Will they make it 3? No, they do not. As a quick feed stopped that ball from getting anywhere to the ropes, but the runs are climbing up and are going higher now. This game is far out of the reach, and what Ghana will seek to do is play out the rest of the remaining overs with a wicket.
Umpire Kendi Olabiwon just sorry Rajesh, just making sure his thumbs up intact. Yeah, signal the partner.
Right arm batter, left arm bowler, Christina Mutasa already going after the stumps. Except for that short play over the infielder by Miriam mentioned, who is currently on 8. Too shy of a double figure. Not finding that space. It is still 43-49. One more wicket in hand. And Zimbabwe under 19 already into record books on their Nigeria Women's Invitational debut. The last time a team posted a new tournament total was Tanzania in their only appearance of the Nigerian Women's Invitational. And Zimbabwe have done that as well, going above to put a new best. One more wicket, and it's going to take a lot more balls to dismantle it. Esther Bakiwiyem is on strike, while Miriam will wait. Last ball of the 18th over. 2 more overs to go. Can Ghana play it all out? Remains to see. One bounce in front of the infielder, and that gives Ghana a chance to add a run to the board. You look at that ball again from that bounce, short bounce, not properly dealt with. Should have gone to the offside and was sent to the mid-on fielder. One more run to end the 18th over. It is 45 on the board and 9 wickets lost. Bulebenkosi Maposa will come back finally and bowl a second over of this inning. Started the inning, didn't pick up a wicket before letting spinners take charge. Now she comes and will look for her own wicket. Almost a leg by, but good field placement as your run couldn't actualize. And Ghana will look for all the mains. First ball dot. Bulebenkosi Maposa starts off looking to put a name in the wicket takers of this match. That will wait a little bit further. Outside off. Late reaction from Esther Bakiwiyem. It is 2 dots of 2 consecutive balls. At this point, there are no outfielders, as the only outfielder is at third man. Every fielder being brought into the inner ring as they want to cut up any opportunity, and they will end this game with the final wickets. Desperately trying to take that run even when there was no chance for it.
Disappointing again that for Ghana, just when they were managing some live, that was straight to the fielder, and clearly Miriam didn't make her grounds. And that's the end of the affairs here in this game. Zimbabwe under 19 versus Ghana women's team. It is 45 runs for the loss of 10 wickets in 18.3 overs. With this result, Zimbabwe under 19 progressed to face Rwanda on Friday. This beloved Biza 102 runs there. Zimbabwe winning by 180 runs. Jidagba Sheon will be joining you at the post-match presentation while we leave you with a summary of the match.
Good evening and welcome to the post-match presentation of the match 10, day 5 of Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament called the Patricia Chipo Kambarami Cup. We just saw the last game, Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team beating their opponent by 180 runs to get a semi-final ticket. I will now call on the Ghanaian captain, Jacqueline Kokam. Jacqueline, in every game, they are always positive. And one of the positive is the last time it was 23 runs all out against Nigeria. But this time around it's 45 against the Zimbabwean under-19 team. For a team that has not played in 3 years, this is a huge achievement on your part. Even if you have lost 4 matches, we are proud of your exploits.
First of all, I'll say we thank God for a successful match. Well, this is we thank God, but it have already happened already. So we are going back to work hard and come back strongly.
I wish you all the best in your subsequent performances, and you have really displayed leadership quality. Jacqueline Kokam, all the best in your subsequent game.
Thank you.
Well, you just heard from Jacqueline Kokam, the captain of the Ghanaian team. We now hear from the captain who notched our first victory, but in grand style. They say you save the best for the last. The captain of team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team, Bulembentoshi Mapusa. I love this smile this time around. You said it at the center. You wanted to score 130 runs, but today you recorded the highest run in Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational. 225 was unprecedented. Congratulations. And how do you see your performance in the first and second innings?
It was really a good comeback from the team, having positive in the changing room. A big partnership between Beloved and Lorraine Pemiwa. So yeah, I think.
Up next for you is the semi-final against Team Rwanda. That is a big game, and I'm sure you are getting to understand the TBS Oval very well now.
Yes, we just have to carry the momentum to the semi-finals, and that will work for us.
All the best as you rest tomorrow and come back bigger, stronger, and better on Friday.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. You just heard from the captain of Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team, Bulembentoshi Mapusa, excited about their performance today. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable mention for the likes of Lauren Pemhiwa, honorable mention for the likes of Salem Mukesa. But again, the player of the match for this game has to be Beloved Biza. 102 runs off 52 balls and also grabbed 3 wickets. But to help me present is a member of the board of the Cricket Federation, Major Monica Wubala. And we say, Sean. Thank you, Major Monica Muvala. Just one word, Beloved, we know what you can do. How excited are you winning the play of the match today?
Yeah, I'm very excited and very glad of myself.
And I wish you all the best in your subsequent games.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from Beloved Biza, player of the match. First time they'll be doing this from this post-match presentation where we have seen Team Zimbabwe under-19 cricket team book a place in the semi-final by beating our opponent by 180 runs. My name is Oluwaseun Ajidagba. Adios amigos. Gracias. Obrigado. Siabonga. Murakoze. Danke. Merci. God